Yo! Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Have fun, relax, and get ready to study your indigenous language naturally. Oh yes, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Yay! For everyone all over the world, I greet you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The channel I'm having right now is quite different from others. I've been on YouTube for quite some time, but this one is special, it's different. Why is it different? It's cutting across not only for adults, but also for children. Yes, and especially for children. I'm so particular about growing the children, that's young child grow. So particular about that because a lot of us as a parents, we've actually failed our children in some certain area, from generations to generation thereabout. I can't really blame ourselves only, even from our parents sometimes and the community where we came out from. So I'm trying so hard to make sure, despite my very difficult and tight schedule, to bring our children up and even with the adults as well can learn. So why am I here today? I'm here to teach us Yoruba language. Yoruba language. Èdè Yoruba. Torí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe wà níbí báyìí lénìí láti kọ́ wa ní èdè Yoruba, meaning Yoruba language. Okay? So that is what you are seeing here, Yoruba language. And in Yoruba it's called Èdè Yoruba. Èdè Yoruba. Èdè Re Do. Yoruba. Redo mi. Redo mi. Yoruba. Redo mi. Èdè Yoruba. So as you can see, it's very important that we should know how to speak our language. That's what I'm particular about. I'm really, I don't like to teach people halfway to do things. I like to teach people from beginning. That's from ground, like from cradle to kindergarten, then primary, then secondary school, and so on and so forth. So I'm the type who like to teach people how to fish, but not to give you fish. You understand? Even when I will give you fish, I still want to let you know, teach you how to fish. It's very important. I was born in Yoruba land. I grew up in Yoruba land. I, carried out my school period in Yoruba land as well before furthering to so many other countries all over the world. So right here, I'm here to teach us Yoruba. Why do we have to learn Yoruba? The answer is very simple. If you say, why do we have to learn Yoruba? Why do we have to learn French? Why do we have to learn Dutch? Why do we have to learn Italiano? Why do we have to learn Japanese language, Chinese language, or even Portuguese language? Why do we have to learn English as well? They are all language. All of them, they are all language. But you know what? Each country makes their language very, very special. And they trade the language with business to every other country. And some of us, we embrace this language, not because we don't have a choice. We do have a choice, but because we were somehow naive and easily were manipulated to know how to speak their own language and never taught them to how to speak your language. So you see, so it's just as simple as that. And you see, what's it called? Speaking your language is very, very important. It has a very unique importance, especially with yourself, your community, your family, And even God Almighty that created you, it has a very spiritual connection with God. Because you see, when God created you, He never created you into another family or probably to another country. Even though He created you in another country, as in you were born in another country, but He created you into a particular family. And you see that family, where they are from, that's where you are from. So you see, where they are from, that's where you're from. That's what every country always talk about gene. Gene is very important. It's our blood. Just now, it's our DNA. If you like, let them give birth to you in the moon. Whoever gave birth to you in that moon, you belong to. And you belong to its roots. Because that's the gene. You can't change your blood. You can't change your parents' blood, the blood of your parents in you, to another parent's blood in you. So you see, it's just like God gave you a key. This is blue. It's a key. It's painted blue. Go and use it to open that door. That's the key you should be using it to open that door. And comes another day, you pick key that is red to open that particular door. What do you think is going to happen? Obviously, you're not going to get an answer. You won't get an answer. The door will not open. It's a different code that you're using. That's like a password as well. So you see, that's the way languages are too. Most of the time, we wonder why, we don't get answers that much from God. But we don't really know that most of what we are saying, as far as God is concerned, as far as God understands every other language, you understand now? But you don't know why God gave you your language. And that's the language He wants you to be using to speak for Himself, to speak for Him rather. But we seriously do not understand that is the identity that He gave to us. He didn't give us English identity, neither Japanese identity. He gave us Yoruba identity. When we were formed from our father inside our mother's womb, and we were given birth to our parents. Do you understand? So He gave us such identity, and that identity is spiritual. It's very unique. It's very organic. It is very focusing. It's very talented. It's gifting. It is something that is extremely unique and spiritual. So you see, language is extremely important. Very spiritual, very unique. Like I said, I don't want to speak too much. So that's part of the reason why we should speak your language. And why am I here today? I'm here to teach us Yoruba language. Ilę Yoruba. So I was born there, and my parents tried their best. My community tried their best. School messed most of it up. You understand? But nevertheless, I still did my very best to maintain my language. And I am so particular about children. I know a lot of parents have really failed their children in terms of teaching them Yoruba and making their children to be able to speak their local dialect, where they originated from. We've really messed it up. But sometimes I can't really blame parents too, because some parents were born in the generation where a lot of confusion has been in which language should we speak, which one should we not speak, which language should we trade with, which one we shouldn't trade with. It's just a serious issue. It's a serious issue that's something we should talk about in some other day. But today, why I'm here is to teach ourselves Yoruba lessons, Yoruba language rather. And the lesson today is lesson 1, episode 1, whichever way you want to call it. So furthermore, we will go further, and by the grace of God, we will be speaking Yoruba. I can assure you that By the time you listen to my lesson, you will be able to speak Yoruba. We talk about every aspect of Yoruba. That's the culture, our body part, social life, so and so forth, how to pronounce some words the way it is in English to Yoruba and the way it is from Yoruba to English. So I don't understand French and every other language. I can't speak it. It's only English that is my second language apart from Yoruba. So that's why I'll be using English and Yoruba to teach us most of the time. So if you want to help yourself, you can translate it into your own language from whatever you can understand, either the English or the Yoruba. You can translate it and help yourself. The channel is there for you to copy, do whatever you want to do with it, and then you get it done. Absolutely. Well done. So today is Yoruba. Now, if you want to learn any language, I advise you, it's always good you start from the spelling of letters. That's alphabet. You start with alphabet. When you start with alphabet, it's like you're starting from the root of that language. It helps you to pronounce so many words. You have to spell words in the way it should be spelled, and you have to pronounce those words in the way they're supposed to be pronounced. Like Yoruba, for example, Ilę Yoruba, we don't just spell alphabet. When we finish spelling alphabet, we also pronounce it with a sign, a symbol. As you can see, this is a sign symbol. This is a sign symbol. This is a sign symbol. French has something like that. French language and some other language as well. So this helps us to be able to, this sign symbol help us to be able to sound the word the way it should be sound. But nevertheless, if you sound it whichever way you can sound it, it's like a learning process. So as time goes on, you will surely get better. Okay? You surely get better. So do not discourage yourself. Don't feel confused. It's very simple. The language is very simple. Yoruba language is the most simplest language ever. I tell you, the most simplest language ever, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it with me. And if you see any other, you can as well learn from them as well. But you will enjoy it, I can assure you. So, and I know by the time we start teaching ourselves this now, to encourage a lot of adults to speak with their children at home, as well from your children to yourself. You help each other. Imagine if you live abroad, you travel home, you can't speak, your children cannot, express themselves with their grandparents or their great-grandparents unless they speak somebody else's language. To be honest, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. We need to joke apart. It is embarrassing that your mother, for example, have to go through hell or trouble to speak to your children just because you haven't been able to do what you're supposed to do. Because you're so busy speaking somebody else's language. Not that maybe you can't speak your language. You can, but you just not bother to teach them. You think it's not important. But one day is coming. You will realize that this is very, very important. It's very, very important. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water. So that's why I'm here today to teach us. So we're going to start from alphabet. Sorry. In Yoruba is alphabet. So, alphabet, that's the way it is sound Yoruba and spell. Here is alphabet. Slippery. Okay, I think it's okay now. Alphabet. That's the way it is spelled and sound Yoruba. Is similar, kind of. You know, languages we borrow ourselves some words. Some we don't borrow. You know, some we are very selfish. Some we borrow. You know, so alphabet. This is alphabet. Alphabet in Yoruba.
Thank you for watching. Please make sure you don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Oh yes, and just in case you forgot your notebook and pen, please remember to bring it next time in our next lesson. Please tune in. Thank you. Bye.